what you can do in Evo and some of the things that Michelle has shown you, like the co-pilot, the reporting, engage, all this to collaborate, all those things basically come to life in mobile. Evo has been designed to be mobile enabled, from the first piece of code that was cut, right? So everything you can do pretty much has a mobile experience, right? It's optimized as well for the mobile because obviously you got a big screen. Mobile doesn't have as big landscape, so it's optimized for that. But it's really easy to get into. Once you log into it, create the identity, again, you then have mobile experience. And remember, again, permissions and security will ensure that the right people or not the right people can see or can't see things as well in the mobile. So again, it doesn't change permissions or anything like that. That stays the same. But it does give you the autonomy and flexibility outside of the actual organization or your PC to be able to do some work when asked, right? So that's the main thing.
So to get started utilizing Access MicrOpay Evo Mobile, you'll need to download from the relevant app store the appropriate app. In this case, you're going to search for Access Evo app. You'll find it. There it is. You can tell by the logo. And then you'll choose to install. So the installer will do its thing and take a minute or so just to download this application onto your mobile phone. Now, once it's installed, you're going to register. So you'll basically be gaining entry by using the same email address that you've been logging into Evo with and putting in exactly the same password as you've been logging in with. Once you've entered those details, you'll sign in and the app will open. So the application will open up in Feeds. So Feeds is that central aggregation point that will be taking all of the information or all of the notifications from all of the Evo apps, including Collaborate tasks or perhaps shoutouts. The next function available is going to be Copilot. So naturally, exactly the same setup as in the web browser, you'll choose the appropriate skill, in this case, analytics. So I'm simply going to type in how many employees do we have in Sydney. And again, it'll just take a moment to think and construct that answer for us. And there we have it. We've got 11 employees. It's also showing us the source and how it filtered, or what the logic in getting that information to us was. If we come in and check another skill in terms of the ATO skill, in this case, we're going to ask a question about the student loan thresholds, and I will learn to type and spell correctly. And so this is going through and getting that information off the ATO website. And there we have all the information, including all those thresholds that we've just asked for. And then finally, we'll go and look at Evo Doc skill. And so this is where you could be able to load up all of your company policies, for instance, into the Collaborate site. And then that will allow Copilot to go and ask questions of those documents. In this case, who are the safety wardens? We've turned up to work, there's a couple of fire engines out the front, so I get onto my mobile phone just to find out who I need to be following instructions from. In this case, it's going to give me a full listing of all of those safety wardens. The next tab across is going to be Evo Learning. So we select the tab, click the icon, and what we have is all of my active learning. So I've assigned or I've registered for 2 learning. I can go and find additional learning modules. But in fact, I'm going to return to the typical one that I always do every time I fail a phishing email exercise. I need to go and do the same learning. And so again, complete, rich online learning. Personally, I like to be able to go and do this work while I'm on the train on the way in the morning, headphones on, and I get my learning done. And then the final tab there is the help and feedback button. So again, that first tab is going to be that feed, that unification of all of the information that you need to be aware of. Mobile will include Copilot capabilities, including all 4 skills. It'll have products, so in this case it's learning, but you could have other Access products available. And finally, I'm going to go and find that new Access Evo button. I'm going to add it to the home screen of my phone so I can always find my Evo mobile.